That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So anyways, coming up to the stage, we have a new comic. It's another girl. We found a girl here. Bring it to the stage. Kate Gaffney.
That's actually my friend. That was such a shitty intro, but he actually likes me out of here. Okay, so like a typical woman, this is very little sex, a lot of plot. So just sit back. Can I say what my inspo was?
Sure.
The 1994 Northridge Earthquake. It's called Quake in My Dick. We open up a 90s television showing a wide shot of the Hollywood Hills. An art card below the 90s television displays January 17th, 1994, 7 a.m. We hear Pat, news reporter, male, 30, on a voiceover during these shots saying, the San Fernando Valley has quite possibly never seen devastation of this magnitude before. We have new information coming in at such a breakneck speed. We're doing our best to keep you up to date, but as much of the affected areas are without power, we assume the people that need to hear this actually can't. As Pat carries on, sirens and screams can lightly be heard throughout the hills. As the camera pans in, the screams get louder. We see interstitial shots of children and babies crying, abandoned strollers, cars on fire, very end of Earth. We cut to a pan shot over the ocean into PCH where traffic is fully stopped due to a massive crater like a crack in the roadway. As the shot continues, we see runner guy, 35, male, out for a jog, sweating, holding his cassette player with headphones on his ears, who won't even pretend like he sees the cameras because he's too cool. Passed by, guy on bike, 46, male, going downhill from Santa Monica neon sign, shouting to the cameras, no excuses, play like a champion. As he continues down the road, guy on bike hits debris and proceeds to crash. His teeth are knocked out and he's wailing. We cut back to Pat. That was just for me. We cut back to Pat, news reporter who offers no assistance but is watching guy on bike closely. Pat gestures to cut the feed and says, back to you in the studio, Diane. Guy on bike screams, swallow the news feed as we cut to interior news studio, KTLA. Diane, 25, states, that looks pretty dangerous out there, Pat. We need to warn our viewers that today is certainly not the day to be trying out any new runs or testing your bike tire strength. After this 6.7 magnitude earthquake, the newly constructed 105 freeway is now closed. Best advice, stay off the roads. Cut to a live feed of grocery stores gouging customers in the Santa Clarita Valley. That guy's got a lot of black. Women with children in strollers cry as faint overlapping dialogue can be heard. Mom, please, my baby. We're out of formula. We can't afford it. This is robbery. As we break away from the scene in Santa Clarita on the TV, we hear John, 40, male, naked, erect, sigh to himself. Guess the world ended. I can finally do what I've always wanted. We cut to him outside of his San Fernando Valley home onto his overturned driveway, destroyed lawn, with a cup of coffee in his left hand as John begins vigorously rubbing his penis in his right hand while his coffee spills from his coffee cup all over the lawn. As we cut away from that, we see Diane, 60s, female, John's next door neighbor, weeping outside of her lawn, holding her cat Mittens, 6 years old, dead, in her arms. She turns and looks at John and is horrified. John, realizing that at least one other person has survived, says, like what you see? Diane gasps and says, how could you even ask me that? Mittens is dead! John, nonplussed, replies, come on, Dee. I've seen the way you look at me before. Now that we're the only two survivors, we have to create more life. And since Mittens won't be making any new kittens anytime soon, let's fuck so hard we put a new kitten in you. Diane, coyly, you're right. I've always wanted a reason to have your huge member introduced to my canal. Let's make a new kitten. As Diane says this, 3 LA County emergency vehicles drive by and other residents walk past the set as someone not involved with production says, I told you jackasses you can't shoot this stuff over here anymore. I got kids, man. We see director, male, 57, bald, fat, wheezing through his dialogue. Cut, this guy ruined the shot. Pauses, turns to the uninvolved man. The permit office is closed today. Can't really ask for permission to do our jobs when the world is on fire. The uninvolved man is annoyed at the director, but clearly is also put off by the fact that John is still managing to stroke his own dick in between takes. As he sees this, the uninvolved man turns to the director and says, you dicks knew that you were shooting before today. I'm really tired of asking you to stop using this neighborhood for all this porn. Director says, we did indeed, but we didn't know that there was going to be an earthquake. We're trying to pivot and create an opportunity to help the economy. As the director, clearly annoyed, stands up from his director's chair to face the uninvolved man, an aftershock occurs and the camera falls off of its tripod. God damn it, Frank, why weren't you paying attention, says the director. We cut to Frank, 23, male, very overwhelmed, clearly on his very first porn set ever, running to pick up the camera as we hear him say, sorry, I'm from Indiana, I thought the earthquake was over. As if coming out of a trance, unable to stop himself, John says, here comes another aftershock, baby. Then we see John grab Mittens out of Diane's hands and throw her onto the driveway. As she does this, Diane rips off her own robe and spreads her legs across Mittens' body. John proceeds to shove himself inside of Diane as the director screams, get the damn camera, Frank! Start filming! Frank, clearly distracted, starts shaking, grabs the camera, and tries to get a good shot of what's happening on top of Mittens' body in front of him as he asks the director, is this part of the script? The director, clearly still annoyed, wheezes out, yes, when we shoot in the valley, anytime there's sex, it's shot. Nobody cares about the plot. Haven't you watched porn? Frank, embarrassed, says, I grew up pretty sheltered. I came out here to be an actor, and I just wanted to get experience. As Frank trails off, the director sighs a huge sigh and says, Jesus fucking Christ, I hate this town. Keep going, talent, we will catch up. Speaking to Frank, just point the camera and hit the button, aim for John's dick, and just keep shooting. We're not. Suddenly, the director gets interrupted by yet another aftershock. This time, it's big enough for a large tree in the front of this rental home to fall on top of John and Diane. Frank, thinking that this is all part of the plot, keeps filming and gets closer as the director screams, somebody call 911! Frank, clearly confused, gestures for the director to shut up and says, John, we aren't seeing you thrust. You gotta keep going. John, dead, does not respond. Diane, horrified, starts screaming, get him off of me! John is dead! Frank, still thinking this is all part of the script, says under his breath, thanks, this is kind of in poor taste, as this whole script is. As the director and Diane continue to scream, we cut back to the uninvolved man, who's delighted by the sudden turn of events and says, that's why you need permits to shoot in LA, ma'am. We cut it to a wide shot of the area around the shooting location, and there are still fires, cars passing by, destruction. In the background, we can hear Frank say, wait, John isn't moving? Is this real? Begins screaming, oh my God, that's a dead body, what's going on? To which the director responds, here comes your 15 minutes, son. The director proceeds to have a heart attack and die right then. Frank passes out. That's the end.
Hey, Gaffney, everybody. For Mittens. My goodness. All right, now we're